Hello and welcome. My name is Dina. Today I'm going to demonstrate for you the Tunisian crochet purl stitch. I have here a chain of 20. It is loosely chained. If you have a hard time chaining loosely, you can always use a hook that is a size larger. This is a size 6 hook. This is a worsted weight cotton yarn. And we're going to begin after you've finished your chain by bringing the yarn to the front, and we're going to go through the second bump of the chain. So that's the back of the chain. So the front of the chain looks like this with these V's, and the back has these bumps on them. And so I'm bringing my yarn to the front, just like in purl knitting. I'm going to put my hook from right to left through that, yarn over, draw up a loop. I sort of held it down a bit with my thumb just so that the hook doesn't catch on my stitch. So that's one. Bringing my yarn to the front for the next one, going through the next back bump on my chain, yarning over and bringing through the loop. Now I'm going to carry on to the next one, yarning over, bringing the loop through, yarn to the front, through the back bump, yarning over, drawing up a loop. And I'm going to continue this all the way across until I have 20 loops on my hook. Now the Tunisian purl stitch is good to use as the foundation row for a project to reduce curl. Tunisian crochet tends to curl, and so to reduce that you can make this purl stitch foundation row, just like I said. Tunisian crochet tends to curl because it is worked on the right side of the project most of the time. I would say almost all the time. And because of that, it tends to curl. Another way you can reduce curl is by using a hook maybe half a size larger, or blocking your project, or by putting a border on it. Those are some different ways you can reduce that curl. Yarn to the front, yarn over, bring a loop through, and here's my last one. And I'm going to go through that V. And there is my foundation row. Well, that's the first half. I have to do the return pass. So now I'm just going to check my stitches. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Okay, I have 20. Now my return pass, I'm going to yarn over and draw through one loop. And that's going to create a salvage edge for my project. Then I'm going to yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. And you're going to want to check your pattern and read it through to make sure that you're following the pattern directions properly. There we go. I think I'm getting blurry. My apologies for that. And I'm almost to the end. And there you have it. That is the Tunisian Purl Stitch foundation row. Now this loop on my hook is going to be the first stitch of my second row. So I'm not going to do anything with this first stitch on the bottom row, but I'm going to bring my yarn forward and I'm going to go through from right to left the front vertical bar. And in a previous video that I've created on the Tunisian foundation row, I talk about the anatomy of the foundation row, and you can check on that for other places where you might be putting your hook to create different stitches. Okay, so I'm bringing my yarn to the front. I'm finding that front vertical bar. I'm going to hold it down with my thumb a bit, just so that my hook doesn't catch, yarning over and drawing up a loop. And just sort of checking my tension, that my loops aren't too tight or too loose. Yarn to the front, through the front vertical bar, yarning over, drawing up a loop. And I'm going to continue on. Now I don't think I've made any videos before, except for the few on Tunisian crochet. So if you want to give some feedback, I would appreciate it. If you're going to give me a thumbs down, let me know why, because then I can redo my videos if I need to, or slow down, or whatever your feedback is. I appreciate it. So bringing the yarn to the front, right to left through the front vertical bar, yarning over, drawing up a loop. So as you can see here, you can see those front vertical bars pretty clearly here. There's also a back vertical bar that you can see as well. There's the front vertical bars. And this one clearly shows the front vertical bar and the back vertical bar. And the next one, and the next one. Thank you for bearing with me as I finish up these last few stitches. In the background is a few other projects I've completed, some felt balls and some needlework there, and my little doll Christine. She's helping me out today. There she is. Oops. You can see my workstation here. Okay, so now I'm on the last one. The last one is just going to be a regular Tunisian crochet stitch that goes through the front vertical bar and the back vertical bar, just to create that salvage edge on my project. So now I'm going to yarn over, draw through one loop, yarn over, draw through two loops, and now we're going to work all the way across on our return pass. So in Tunisian crochet, you're going to do a forward pass, creating the stitch, and a return pass, because you're going to return to that first loop of your project. And there we are. I'm going to give that a bit of a tug to make sure that's snug on my hook. And there you have that purl stitch. And that does look like knitted, I'm sorry, it looks like purl knitting. And I will show you a finished project Here it is here. It does have that look of purl knitting. It's quite dense, so you're going to use up a little bit more yarn than you would if you were knitting or crocheting. And as you can see, there's no curl to this because I've put on a single crochet border, and this would make a nice dishcloth or a hot pad or anything. So that's the Tunisian crochet purl stitch. Thank you for watching.